This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel. Feels good to post for a second day in a row. Holy crap. What was it, like 5 days without a video? Hey, good weekend, good summer going on. It's a good time. Almost time to settle back into hockey season, and that's exactly where we find ourselves today, is on the pace to settle back into hockey season. Unfortunately, starting with a little bit of no news. Not breaking news, not bad news, no news. And we'll get to that in a sec. Right now, what I have forgotten to mention for a long while here, because I really try not to pay attention to this number in particular, this one right over here on the screen right there, is the fact that as of today, as of I'm recording this video, I'm 15 subscribers away from 7,000. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, one thing that means the most to me is that 7,000 mark. 7,000 is the first official 1,000 full-time Oilers fans gained on Dolynny TV. So guys, let's get there. That's all I'm saying. If you're new to the channel, you like what goes on in the rest of this video, you've checked out others, definitely hit that subscribe button, join the community. All it means is you get notifications, you get up-to-date stuff a little bit quicker, and you know when the live streams, all that, when it starts hockey season, are happening. With that said, no news is the news that we received today. That being not on Jesse Puljujärvi. Shockingly, not on Jesse Puljujärvi. No. Somehow, out of the midst of everywhere, some reporters found Connor McDavid in the wild. Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost hockey season. Because, well, Connor McDavid, as I said, no news. You go back to April 6th, kind of the team said Connor is going to be ready for training camp. Well, yeah, you know what? We knew he was going to be skating by training camp. We knew that. The question mark about going to be ready for training camp, I think I've pretty much said it from day one. It's a maybe. How long into training camp it takes him to get into training camp is more of the question, and that's fair. You know what? Honestly, guys, as the Edmonton Oilers, you can't go out there and risk rushing Connor McDavid into the lineup just to be ready to play the first preseason game. That makes absolutely zero sense on the part of the Oilers. Maybe under Peter Chiarelli, which actually in an interview that Connor McDavid had on Sportsnet.ca, he had a little funny line about Peter Chiarelli there. Just his facial expression and how he finished the sentence was actually kind of suspect, but you understand the sensitivity around that whole case. The thing said is the fact the Oilers are under Ken Holland, and I think it became abundantly clear the minute Ken Holland took over as Edmonton Oilers general manager under a newly excited Connor McDavid for the GM coming in. As you can read on Sportsnet.ca's article all about it, I can quote it, or you can just go over there and read it for yourself and take fact for fact and just take opinion for opinion. However, Connor McDavid, I think the tone shifted organizationally. The reason I say it's no news is because for months now we've kind of had this sense, as fans, as me, whatever you want to call it, we've had this sense that Connor McDavid's probably not going to be ready for training camp. Now, let's get over to that Sportsnet.ca article so that I can kind of read you what I mean by sense. So Connor McDavid's progressing well. That's out of his mouth, according to Sportsnet.ca. And what they throw in there, not in quotes, is there's no guarantee. That's the point I'm getting at. That's kind of been where we've been sitting as fans for quite a while now, and I think we're fine, we're comfortable in that, as long as it's not Connor McDavid will not start the season. As long as we don't hear that phrase, I think we're all fine. The bridge isn't going to set on fire and the walls aren't going to burn down. Now, still rehabbing with the aid of a team of doctors and specialists and second opinions. This directly out of the Sportsnet.ca article by, I believe it is Luke Fox in Toronto. From the first significant lower body injury of his career. That's Connor McDavid's first significant one. The torn PCL muscle, ligament, whatever it is. McDavid is unable to participate alongside Draisaitl, Nurse, and others at the BioSteel camp. I think that's where they hunted him down. And it's his annual pre-training camp ritual, as is for many NHL players. And he had to skip the Power Edge Pro Camp this summer as well. Well, we already knew about that. Now, in his meeting with reporters, he said he has not suffered any setbacks and is lucky to have support from some of the best in the business. When you are Connor McDavid, you are the most highly paid NHL player, you're going to get support from the best in the business, and you better damn well shout them out as well. I guess is all I've got to say on that topic right there. Now you get into, this is the other thing. Connor McDavid has been skating with Gary Roberts. That's the one key thing we want to stress on. Connor McDavid's still only 22 years old. Guys, we got plenty of Connor McDavid talk to come. And just working hard to get to camp and focused on that. So he's getting to camp. Now that's the key. Not getting to the start of camp, getting to camp, if you want to read between the lines. And withholding a timetable on a return to contact. That's exactly. It's been different. I've obviously just been focusing on that. It's been taking a lot of time, but it's been good. And later adding, it's mentally tough, it's challenging. Guys, as an NHL captain, if you're not in for a mentally tough time, I don't know why you're the captain. So that there, give a little bit of credit to Connor McDavid for just kind of owning up to it and accepting it as well. So Connor McDavid sounds like a man hesitant to embrace October's clean slate until at least his knee is 100%. Well, that's fine. That's fine. But the Oilers did do a lot of work to get it going. That's mentioned in the Sportsnet.ca article as well. I mean, I could read this whole thing to you, but I don't want to read word for word and just have my video be a Sportsnet.ca article. That's not what you're here for. That's not what I'm here to do. He's chatted with Ken Holland and chatted with new bench boss Dave Tippett as well. The key is Dave Tippett does plan to kill McDavid's penalty kill usage in order to keep him a little bit fresher. And just focusing on my rehab and the injury itself, it's tough to focus on anything else. It's coming back together and everything like that, but ultimately you don't want to come back too early, as I mentioned, and make sure it's fully healed and you're not going to get hurt again, but I'm not too worried about that. There's your caution to the wind. You know what? Connor McDavid's doing everything in his power to come back 100%, and he's not worried about not being 100% because he's doing everything in his power. It's Connor McDavid. When he gives 100% on something, you see the results tenfold. Guys, that's why he is Connor McDavid. I mean, if we were talking about Sam Gagner in this factor, I don't think this would be a 10-minute video. This is our captain. This is arguably the best player offensively in the NHL. The reason I say offensively is the fact that he is what he is on an incredible team. Guys, Kucherov wouldn't have even stood a chance last season. Don't forget who McDavid had for line mates at times this year. It was a disaster, so move on, go on. And so he did talk about Lucic a little bit. Told him, said he's a great guy, great family, all that. Definitely going to miss him. You can read it in the article. The big key, the one I like, is the fact that watching the Blues championship run, they go from last to winning the cup. It says a lot about them. It says a lot about our league. Turnarounds can happen quick, so that's what we're hoping for. Well, guys, honestly, if you've got a Connor McDavid at 100%, you've got a Leon Draisaitl at 100%, you've got a fully formed Darnell Nurse at 100%, and you've got a goaltending tandem that's actually pushing themselves, unlike the Koskinen-Talbot debacle that was last year up till Stolarz got traded. Well, guess what? It was disaster. If you got Smith Koskinen actually playing for minutes, it's going to be a lot different of a result. And the only other thing, I mentioned about the excitement for Holland, and, well, there you go. There you go. The one thing I got left to mention is McDavid finds it so disappointing that he's not out there with his teammates and his peers, despite his best efforts. There you go. And then Max Domi had some comments at the back of it. So, guys, that leaves us. Where does that leave us? I don't think it leaves us anything different. Honestly, the other stuff away from the injury is more news than the injury news is. We already were pretty comfortable in the fact that Connor McDavid stated all this in this article, in this talk to reporters. He's already kind of given us this indication beforehand. We've been fed this information before. This is not breaking news. This is not new news. This is no news is news because we're coming up on hockey season. And that's exactly why I'm talking about it. I'm not sitting here preaching to you that, oh my God, he's not going to start. No, this is not by any stretch of an imagination to me or to anyone out here in the Dolynny TV branch of Edmonton Oilers hockey shocking news. This is something I think I've tried to play up as much as possible to say it's probably not going to happen that he'll start camp, but he'll be in camp. And that's exactly what it sounds like today. So To me, no news is the new news, and that's what we end up rolling. Guys, the fact is, we are on August 26th. We've got 5 days, and we're in September. Are you excited? God damn it, I am. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. What I want you to do, like I said, I want you so badly to start September with that nice 7,000 slate across underneath the Dolynny TV name on my channel. I would be more than overwhelmed to have you guys bring me there, and I can't do it without you guys. So please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to hit that 7,000 as we enter September and we push towards what is going to be an absolutely incredible year, no matter what, because we'll have each other to lean on no matter what happens. Guys, Tyson Dolynny TV, I am up on out of here.